combat instead of just.
Well, I don't care. We're going straight into this.
Oh,
I think the mic is full. We're good. It's full. It's full mic. We're going.
Mike set the mics to full.
Set the mics to 12. Did I tell you about that? The amp I found where it went to 12.
It went to 12?
Yeah.
It went past 11.
Yeah, I took a picture. I think 11 is funny though, because it's such an odd number.
Yeah.
It's like,
11 is like one of the longest like syllable numbers. It's like
11.
Just yeah.
Yeah, you know I love that scene. We were going to talk about Wonder Woman, weren't we?
We were talking about Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. No, we didn't really have a full like hour-long conversation about it after we kind of.
No, we typically do, but
yeah.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, I guess we'll get into like the nitty gritty of it because like we're just like, hey, it was actually good. It was like, yeah, it was.
No, but also what I wanted to point out right away is it's a lot like Captain America.
Yeah,
the first Avenger.
It's very much Captain America, the first Captain America.
Yeah, which call that?
Also a little bit of Thor too.
Just a little bit. Yeah,
I felt like the whole opening, like, oh yeah, and Zeus created the Amazons, and we.
Oh, you're a child. Look,
you're a child.
And then look, here's the sword. Here's the sword. Oh.
Yeah, and it was like, yeah, that was very much.
It was very
like
Thor.
The opening of Thor, where it's like, oh, back in the day we had to fight all the frost giants, and then you're gonna be king one day or whatever. And,
you'll be an irresponsible teenager one day who wants to fight all the who wants to. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I mean, Wonder Woman's kind of like Thor is probably the most similar to Wonder Woman if you had to compare.
Like combat wise, I would put them up against each
they're
other.
Both like a race.
They're both basically gods, so if you put them up against each other,
I think Thor is probably a little more powerful because it's got lightning.
But Wonder Woman, because in this one, she's kind of a demigod in this one. So wait, did Zeus actually like nail her mom or like? Or was it like,
yeah, bro?
Because they didn't show the scene of her. No, because in the animated movie they show her making Wonder Woman out of clay. And I'm assuming that's how she got breathed into life by Zeus. And I was assuming that's how all the Amazons got made.
No. So so in Greek mythology, Amazons were just like a race of warrior women, and basically they just...
Do they not age?
They don't age, right?
Okay.
So they were just around back when like Greeks were ruling and everything.
Oh, okay.
And like Hercules met up with them at one point and stuff like that. But like they had men in their city, but like they would be like house husbands and stuff. Like they would take care of the kids and like do the cooking and stuff, or the women would go out
Johnny Test.
Yeah, the women would go out and like fight and stuff. And then
that's cool.
The idea is like they took all the Amazons and put them on an island, and they're like, no more men. We're not going to have any more men at all. So it's just all the women, and they just live forever basically. So like unless they get killed.
Yeah.
So they don't really age. So yeah. So they're just all there, and they just remember being like, a couple thousand years ago, back in the day, we used to like hang out with all the Greeks, but we stopped doing that, and now we just live on this island. And so yeah, Wonder Woman was like the one. Different one because she was built from clay and blah blah blah.
Was she birthed in this one?
Well, in this one she was the daughter of Zeus, so she's like a demigod. So that means that Zeus and what's her mom or whatever her mom's name is, they bang.
Amazon. Oh, that's her name, right?
Amazon. That's her mom's name.
No, I just came up with that on the spot. It's clearly not her mom's name.
No, but like, should we? Say that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so her mom, Amazon, and Zeus, they banged. Which is the same as the New 52 version, where it's like she was raised to believe that she was made out of clay and stuff like that, but it's like turns out no, she's just a demigod, which is kind of cool. Like I don't know, which do you prefer, the made out of clay version or the demigod? Origin.
I don't know because I've not exposed myself to enough Wonder Woman culture. Because the made out of clay version I've seen in one animated movie and in a really cheesy show from the 70s. I've seen a couple episodes of that one. It's really cheesy.
It's very much a product of its time.
Yeah, and I love
I do like Linda Carter in that show.
No, Linda Carter's great.
I think she's does a great job in that role. But yeah, it's you can't really watch it.
So dated. It's so dated.
Yeah. It's like
I can only enjoy it for like things that aren't supposed to be funny, and I find them funny now. Like it's like, oh, that guy fell down the stairs, and it looks kind of funny because this is what they considered action.
Yeah, that was considered a stunt.
What a spectacular stunt, my friend. Turn around. You idiots! You've captured the stunt doubles! Well, Spaceballs is brilliant, but back to Wonder Woman, though, I'm really glad it wasn't, like, jump down your throat feminist propaganda.
No, and
it was just a good movie, like...
Unlike Supergirl, which is...
a little bit, yeah.
I was kind of expecting it to lean more that direction, but no, they just, like... No, we're just gonna tell a good story with a good character, and you know it's just gonna be about And like they didn't do any like, oh, she's a woman, she can't fight. Like they didn't really do that.
She just does like, and she's
like,
not,
and there was no like Steve Trevor didn't even have any bias. Like it was just like he gets thrown into like this huge battle scene, and so like he just sees all them fighting, and he's like, oh, I guess they're really good at
but even
fighting.
the scene when he's like,
so he's like any prejudice he had is completely gone right away. So it's great.
No, but also the part where he what is it? We're in the alley. Steve's like, "Oh, get behind me!" Just because he's like trying to
because that's his like natural.
That's his natural instinct as a soldier is
as
trying to protect your fellow man, right? And then she blocks and she's like, maybe I should get behind you. Like, right? But she's not like, oh, how dare you? You assume I couldn't defend myself? And like. No, and even
I can open my own door.
Yeah, no, it was nothing like that. It's like, no, you can't go in that revolving door with the sword and the shield. But yeah, that's probably not going to fit. Also, this looks weird in public. and just like stuff like how it doesn't go with that outfit and like like that's where the jokes were. It wasn't like she's like, how can you fight in this? Like stuff like that. Where like that's great because it's like because you know as an audience member, I get it's like women wouldn't fight in that time.
Yeah,
one day it's like it's kind of weird. Like it makes you think and stuff without blatantly hitting you over the head. Like women should be able to fight too. It's like it's like if you're smart, you can pick up on subtle things like that.
Yeah, no,
it's way
all
more
the things are just subtle and not like they don't cram it in your face. But I think
it could have been very in your face.
I think the animated Wonder Woman
was even more in your face. Than
was much more. But like that
one's great though.
That one's also really good, and it's part of the themes of that movie.
Yeah,
is like the stereotypes of men and women, and there's a great scene where after Steve Trevor saves Wonder Woman.
He's like,
and she's like, how dare you save me? I was prepared to die in combat and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, I just saved you. I'm not trying to further my misogynistic agenda. I just saved you because I like you and that's what you do. You save your friends from dying, and like I'm not trying to fucking do it like and that's also Nathan Fillion, so like it's like the perfect
like no because like if you didn't pick Chris Pine, it would have been Nathan Fillion.
Yeah,
I feel like Nathan Fillion's
he's a little too old now.
At this point, and Chris Pine's perfect.
But yeah, for sure. And also like it's a different kind of Steve Trevor too, because like that Steve Trevor was the Nathan Fillion like player asshole kind of
this one he's just a guy. Like,
he's just kind of a guy. Yeah. Which is like perfect. And he had he's got the Chris Pine arrogance in it, but it's not like he's an idiot or anything. Like he's just like it's just
it wasn't also like it wasn't like also like he was as good as Wonder Woman. Like Wonder Woman's clearly better.
Better at
because she's a superhero, right? And I love another thing. I love the one scene where they're all like we can't read this writing, or then Wonder Woman's like it's like Slovenian and Ottoman.
Yeah,
and then they're like, why do you know that? It's like, well, it just is. Like she learned a bunch of languages and stuff, right?
Well, I just speak those languages, so I know what they are.
Yeah. Right, and it wasn't like they never say like
what a woman.
I wouldn't expect a woman to know that. Like
a woman reading.
She just knows stuff. Like it's not.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
And she wasn't like a Mary Sue either. Like
no, that's true.
Like she
was she though?
No,
but she could read all the languages and she was good at everything.
There was a scene where she
what are all the Mary Sue things? Everything's easy.
She gets beat up by Ares like a lot though. And
also, that's true.
She
I guess because everyone's not like, wow, you're really
also
great.
The first fight scene, she doesn't do like anything.
That's true. Yeah, she doesn't save the day.
She doesn't save the day in the first fight scene. She kind of hides behind a rock. She's like, I don't know what to do. Like I've never been in combat before. This is like And like, I'm pretty sure she's told to. Is she told to stay there?
Yeah, they're like, hey, don't go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Steve Trevor kills some guys because it's the Germans,
yeah, and right? he was already fighting them.
Yeah, so he's trained in combat. I buy that.
And like she fights a little. She fights a little in that scene.
Kind of. I think she fights a little bit.
She's
and
more
gets killed, and then
she's more kind of reacting to like, oh, there's a bunch of people randomly. I didn't even know.
Oh, I guess Amazons aren't bulletproof.
No, they're not. Because a couple of them get shot, right?
Yeah.
And she gets grazed, but like she can heal fast because I guess she's a demigod or whatever. Yeah.
That's why they have the bracelets and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's why the bracelets.
In the '70s series when they did the Wonder Woman the decathlon challenge thing or whatever, they used like the women would stand and shoot actual revolvers at each other.
Yeah, which is like, okay, so you're like like all the events are like lance throwing and
that's like stuff you'd have on the island and stuff.
Like archery and like horseback riding.
They just keep revolvers on this like mystical island.
Bullets,
just actual bullets and guns.
Shoot bullets at each other.
Yeah,
which is like okay.
Which is really funny. It doesn't really fit the aesthetic of the rest of it.
Yeah, which the Wonder Woman animated
used bows and arrows,
which was a good. Which was like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, but also in the Wonder Woman anime movie, the decathlon, it could have been like a really cool Karate Kid type montage or whatever, where you see the people rising up, and I thought there was going to be a scene like that in this movie. I'm okay with it. Well, it works. This movie works for us. But if you're doing that scene in a movie, I feel like there should be a lot more. It should feel like a mini underdog story sports competition within the movie.
Yeah,
they kind of rush through it in that movie.
That's also because
I know that's because it's supposed to be 75 minutes.
Yeah, they only have so much time, so for those movies because they're typically like.
It's like Flashpoint Paradox, Assault on Arkham.
So
those are all hour 15. Yeah, they're all great though. They're great for the time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so like when they're doing,
it feels kind of like an extended episode of a TV show.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it's like a longer episode of like an animated show.
That's what Assault on Arkham feels kind of like that.
Yeah, definitely. Especially because it's like kind of in the Batman Arkham universe.
Yeah.
So like it's like, oh, here's the side adventure that was going on during the games or before the games or whatever. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Don't think about it too much. I don't think there's an official Arkham timeline.
There
probably is.
It's just Arkham. It's just Arkham Origins. Asylum City Night. Right? Yeah,
that's it. So I guess.
But then if you're a Rockstar purist, it's just Asylum City Night.
It's just the trilogy. Which makes sense. What else was in this? What else was in the movie?
I like. Okay, so you know the scene when so talking about humanity and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that scene. But then I initially, it's like he's like, oh, maybe it's not one guy. War's kind of bigger. I totally forget what he says, but he says maybe it wasn't just one guy. Maybe we all just suck, right? Right. Yeah, but much. Then it's like, no, there is one guy there. So that kind of took away from the scene, I think. But then when she killed Ares, she killed Ares, war still happening and stuff.
Yeah, and that's what what he was saying was I didn't actually influence anyone at all. I just told them how to make weapons and stuff.
Yeah,
and I didn't tell the poison doctor to make her crazy poison. I just told her how.
Yeah,
stuff like that, and she's the one who decided, and so I guess that's the argument for that. But it's interesting, because it's we killed Ares, now there will be no more wars except for in 20 years when World War II starts.
Oh, there's all that historical hindsight or whatever where you kind of laugh, because grade 10 history. You learn about World War I, World War II, the Cold War, Afghanistan, Korea, Vietnam, basically everything coming up, within the 20th century, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
You basically learn about the last 100 years. And when the first war you learn about is called the War to End All Wars, you kind of laugh a bit. You're like, they really had no idea, did they?
Yeah, we wish.
No, because I'm learning about a lot of European history and stuff right now. And a lot of it's basically the course I'm taking right now is a prequel to the grade 10 history. Oh, okay. So they're doing a lot of this course is building to World War I.
Right. Yeah. Well, like I mean, that's
and there's a lot of wars. There's a ridiculous number of wars before World War One. There are so many wars. So you can understand, like from that perspective, why they thought it would be the war to end all wars when they finally have guns, when they think they've reached the peak of their technology, when they think they've reached the peak of warfare. When they have planes.
Well, I mean, I guess we have nukes now.
They have planes. They have bombs. They have guns. They have.
Yeah, because it was fought on the sea, on the land, in the air. It was like there was. It was a weird like turning point too, because like they just had machine guns, but like there was also people on horseback swords, like in the same, like not too far away, you know, like in other areas of the world that were fighting the same war and stuff like that. Yeah, when it's fought all over the world and stuff like that. So yeah, it would felt like it would have felt. It was fought in like to end
it was fought in like
and it was just brutal and no one liked it. Yeah, like there was no justice, there was no good or evil.
It was pure attrition, which is just. Kill as many people as possible.
There was no goal. It was just
get rid of their food,
kill
make
all
sure
of
they die of disease, like murder all.
There was no more like rules or any like no honor in it and stuff like that. Like all the previous ideas of like war and like battle and you know like all that kind of stuff was just gone. It was just brutal killing.
You know the part where Steve Trevor's in the like steals the plane or whatever, and he shoots at the base and then drops the bomb. It looks a little CGI when he's in the plane.
Yeah, for sure. There's a few parts that I think there's a little too much CGI. Some of the Wonder Woman fighting, flipping around was like, oh, that's not a real person. Oh, okay, and stuff like that.
Well, kind of it's like the stylized,
most of it I think looked pretty good. Yeah. There's a part where when she's a kid and she jumps off the like side of the building or whatever, and like it's like, oh, that's a green screen.
No, but most of the mascara was real though.
Yeah,
I'm really impressed with that. I'm really impressed with that because it would have been like that would have been like an easy opportunity to.
Oh yeah, to
green it up
to attack the clones it up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like that. You know, there's like the one temple or whatever they go to where they do the lasso truth thing on Steve. I think that I'm pretty sure that was like the floor was real.
Yeah,
real, but the rest was
typically it's like the room that they're in is real, but then like the windows will be like green screen or whatever. So like,
that's fine.
Like that. And typically that looks fine. Like it's
no, but like there's the one there's one rock wall she's climbing. I think that's a real rock wall.
Yeah,
it looks pretty real. Like it.
Yeah, that was a set. She would have just probably been on.
Yeah, but then there's like
rope or whatever. You know?
And there's like parts where they're on like the grasslands and stuff, and like you see the behind the scenes, and they're literally just on some island or grassland somewhere. And you see them on the.
What if they went to the Jedi Island? And
that's what I was thinking. Like, what if
that'd be a good Themyscira.
Yeah. No, and then there's the beach, which is a real beach, and then there's it all looks really good. Like I just it sounds dumb saying that out loud, but like you'd be surprised how many movies don't have like a real beach.
Well, yeah, I mean, like all the others.
That's what it kills me that the new Pirates has like CG and stuff where it's like.
Well, the first Pirates had CG.
No, but I mean like, first Pirates had people on actual boats in the water.
No, this one was too. I've seen some of the cutscenes.
It looks.
A lot of it looks like. It looks like they just don't care as much anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that's like
I really don't care.
There's so much heart in the first Pirates.
Oh my god!
And now they're on the fifth one, and like, I don't think Johnny Depp really cares. I don't think the guys writing it care.
Phoning it in like this. I'm Johnny Depp. Oh, look at that! Look at my weird run like this. and what's that? Oh, I knocked over a thing. Isn't that funny? Yeah. Oh, I'm drunk all the time. Oh, Johnny Depp. Oh, I'm Johnny Depp. Look at me. Look at me. Ain't I the character that you liked? From 14 years ago.
Such a wacky...
What a zany character.
Wacky fun character.
Wow. Look at me go, oh, and I'm hilarious. That's me. So that's why I'm not a fan of Pirates.
Yeah. I think I might check out the fifth one just to, like... I don't know.
No, don't, because this is why, like, here's why you don't have to. Because it's like, there's some guy who jacked wrong in his past who's coming back for his revenge. You know, like the first one and the second one. Is Davy Jones after Jack?
Yeah.
And the third one because it's still Davy Jones. And the fourth one because it's Blackbeard and he doesn't like Jack for some reason. Or are they both going for the fountain? Who cares?
It doesn't.
The fourth one doesn't matter. It's like it's not new though. It's like but this time they're undead. Like the first movie where they were all undead, or the second movie where they lived forever because they were made of fish. You realize that's how they explain it, right? I'm Bootstrap Bill. They call me Bootstrap because they put the bootstrap on a cannon and they just dropped it. They put it on a cannonball, right? And they just dropped it in the water.
They strapped and then I found to bootstrap.
That's in the first one, right? They explain, and then he's like, and then Davy Jones finds him because he's
vanished.
Doesn't Davy Jones get basically everyone who dies from drowning?
Yeah, see, like that's what's cool about the first couple Pirates movies.
Let's see who's in the locker today. It's just corpses fall out.
Like in
Fairly Odd Parents, they had it was SpongeBob where they had it's
the Flying Dutchman who's like this pirate ghost, and then Davy Jones' locker, which is an actual locker.
Yeah. No, but I feel like Davy Jones has like the Davy Jones in Pirates of the Caribbean in the movies or whatever. Where does he find them? Does he just scoop them up from the bottom of the ocean?
The more they explain it, the more confusing it is, because like then you see that scene where in the third one when they're in the locker and they meet Jack, and then like this, you see all these guys in boats that are just floating by.
Well, what's the scene?
And then Elizabeth's dad is there, and it's just like, oh, if only Davy Jones had been doing his job, we wouldn't be floating in our boats randomly, and we'd get to go to whatever the afterlife is in this universe.
Okay, which Pirates movie has the scene where Jack sees a bunch of himself in the prison cell?
That's the third one.
That's a weird movie.
See, what's dumb about that one is like when they first. So he dies at the end of the second one. He's in Davy Jones' locker, which is like this weird afterlife sort of place. Yeah. And like he's there with his ship, and there's a bunch of Jacks on his ship, and then all the rocks turn into crabs and blah blah blah. It's just like weird and stuff like that. But like you think like as soon as they get out of there, it's like stops being weird and bizarre. But no, it gets
they have to get the 9 pieces of eight.
It gets like weirder.
And then make her grow giant, and then make Calypso grow giant, and then she turns into crabs, and nothing gets accomplished. And then the Kraken, is it back? Is it
no? The Kraken dies.
Why does Jack come back to life? I don't.
Because they flip the ship upside down right when the sun sets, and so then up is because he flipped the thing and it says up is down, and so and they figure out that the ship goes upside down, and then the sun sets at the same time. Then they go back to the regular world, and then they go up into it's whole great. I do like that scene though when they're trying to flip the ship, and they have to like rock it back and forth until it flips over. That whole movie is like really convoluted and stuff, but I think it has some good moments. The third one,
the second one's better than the third one.
Yeah, each one gets worse.
The second one is good. My problem with it is the first 40 minutes have nothing to do with the rest of the movie.
Yeah, that's when they go on the
island with the native antics for about 40 minutes, and it doesn't add anything to the rest of the movie.
I think if that was a 10-minute sequence, it could have been like forgivable, but like, yeah, it goes on for way too long. It's just like Jack running around like strapped to a pole, and he's gonna fall down the thing, and he's gonna what's it called, pole vault over a thing, and he's gonna throw fruit at people, and there's a dog.
He's getting the fruit stuck on the pole, and
they're in cages, and
he's falling down a chasm now, and they gotta swing the cages up the chasm, they're climbing up the.
They painted eyes on his eyes.
They're running from the natives, but they're still in the balls. They have to run inside the ball. There's a lot of people running and spinning things in that movie. Because there's the wheel fight later.
They give him a necklace of toes so he can be weird and bite one of the toes and be like, that tastes weird.
Because it's a toe.
So Johnny
and he's got he's got his eyes painted on his eyelids.
So many closes his
eyes. It looks like they're still open.
So he can be
Which studio executive said all this out loud and thought this was a good idea? It sounds so weird.
I bet a good chunk of it is
I feel like
Johnny Depp being like, I've got this idea.
And makeup people are like, what the hell are we doing? Imagine what was the director thinking?
And they think I'm a god, so they paint my eyes on top of my eyelids.
It's like a weird fantasy Johnny Depp has had, and they just put it to life in a movie.
And they give me a necklace of toes, so that I can be weird.
Just die and not burn on Elm Street, please. I missed that version of Johnny Depp, where he's like, "Hey, I'm Johnny Depp. Oh, I'm dying." Like, what happened to that? I like that version of Johnny Depp. He's also in Platoon.
He is?
Yeah, he's
is
just
he like young Johnny Depp?
Yeah, but he's just in the background. Like, he's not even like a main character.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Back in the day,
before you.
Oh, I'm Johnny Depp. Everyone, look at me.
Back in 1986.
Yeah. Jeez. Our parents were watching Ellen, and Johnny Depp was on Ellen, being like, "Oh, they're pirates."
I'm Johnny Depp.
Oh, I'm Johnny Depp, and like he did not care, like at all. You could tell so much. Like he's like, "Yeah, we're just like another pirates. I don't know, but I don't know why we."
This one's got boats.
This is like boats or something. Like Ellen was trying to like, "Oh, so what was it like working with Harvey R. Bardem?" And like she's trying to like ask him like actual questions.
Actual actor questions.
And he's just like, "Oh, whatever. I don't really care."
Okay.
How many of these have we done? Like 10 years? Oh man, what am I doing?
What have I done with my life? It's been 14 years. Geez.
Oh yeah, I guess even longer. I was thinking it's 10 years since the third one.
Yeah, that's true.
And like that's what I thought might be interesting about the fifth one.
Wait, is Will in this one? Or?
Yeah, he's in the IMDb credits, and he should be in it, and it makes sense for him to come back. It's 10 years since the last time we saw him.
I think he's in it probably a little bit.
He's the Davy Jones now, so every 10 years he gets...
Wait, is he in it though? Like his...
Yeah, he's cast in it, but he's not on any of the posters or anything.
Or trailers,
or like any of the trailers that I saw.
She's talking about.
Yeah, so he must be in it actually.
I feel like it's gonna be 2 seconds. So
it's probably he probably just shows.
Jack's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I need to fight, and then Will's like, find your courage, and then he disappears. And then
I bet he just shows up at the end, like at the end when there's like a battle and like betrayal and whatever, and like and then like the pirate ships is sinking. Oh no, the new. Evil ship, which is more evil than the last 6 evil ships that we found. It's so much more evil than us.
Oh no! Because they definitely tried to top the Black Pearl.
Yeah, because like the first Pirates is so good. Yeah. Because like the whole it's the ship. It's like there's so many great things about like storytelling and stuff like that.
Where it's like there's so much mythos around the Black Pearl.
Mythos about the Black Pearl. It's like it's the only ship with black sails. It's like I've heard stories that. Said to have been no survivors, and then it's like, then where do the stories come from? And it's like, I've seen the Black Pearl. It's like, no, you haven't. It's like, yes, I have. I saw a ship with black sails. It's like, you've seen a ship that's captained by a man so evil that hell itself spit him back out. And like, there's all these like great like lines about that and stuff like that. Yeah. And then it's like, we need another villain. Let's make it an even more eviler ship.
It's bigger than the last one.
Not only are the sails black, they're slimy.
The ship's also slimy. It's gonna be covered with fish people.
Fish people.
And they're gonna have like really good cannons and like
not only are they undead, but they also have a giant octopus.
Yeah, that they can call upon by pushing a little circle thing.
What else is evil? An organ. Okay, there's the bad guy plays the organ, and he has an and one of his organs is in a box. And he's got octopus.
That's such a cool idea.
He's got octopus face, and he plays the organ with his octopus face.
No, the second Pirates 2 has so many cool ideas, like the heart in the chest, and and
it's like. That's what I like about the first couple Pirates.
Oh, when he drops, that's a practical effect. He drops the heart on the ground. He's like, oh shit!
Like there's so many, there's so many great ideas where it's like this is now the definitive Pirates.
Yeah.
Like we did Pirates back when Errol Flynn was an actor in the silent era and stuff like that. But Pirates hadn't really been a thing at all until 2003.
Yeah, 2003 was
the first one, and it's now this is the definitive pirate lore, and everything else is anything else that's even remotely pirate related is trying to be like this, and it's kind of awesome that they did that. The series I think has done a lot of really cool stuff.
The only thing that's interesting about the first Pirates is that it's not just about the movie itself, but the movie is called the official title is Pirates of the Caribbean: Curse of the Black Pearl. But everyone calls it Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one.
Yeah, it's true. Because that one it should have just been called Pirates of the Caribbean, I think.
Yeah.
But like they were like, oh, maybe we can do a franchise.
I think it's the best movie based off of a ride.
Well, there's that, there's Haunted Mansion, and there's Tomorrowland. So there's only 3.
Well, what would you say? What would you say about Tomorrowland?
Tomorrowland is good. The ending is really cheesy, and it kind of ruins it. But like, there's some good ideas, and there's some kind of cool stuff in it. It could have been. It could have been much better though if they just kind of had done a few things differently. And it's also kind of weird because like the ride Tomorrowland is in the movie, and like, but it's like, oh, but if you do this special thing, you go to this secret
you
world.
Clap your hands 3 times,
like,
and close your eyes, and will it hard enough, you can go to the real Tomorrowland.
Yeah, you go to the real
There's a scene in the movie where they go to Disneyland and ride Tomorrowland.
Yes.
That is really weird.
Yeah, right? Like, or it's like a version
There's no scene in Pirates of the Caribbean where they go to Disney World and ride the ride Pirates of the Caribbean. When Pirates of the Caribbean breaks down, the pirates don't try to eat the people.
The pirates don't eat the tourists.
Pirates don't eat the tourists. Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Pirates of the Park.
Jurassic Pirates of the Caribbean. It's like Pirates of the Caribbean, but they're all dinosaurs.
Or no, you make Jurassic Park, but they're all pirates. Clever girl. It's a pirate. And he's got a sword and he like stabs the guy. They basically just.
Oh wait, are the dinosaurs pirates?
No, not dinosaurs.
I got it.
They're
it's pirates. It's Jurassic Park, but at the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. So the pirates break down and
try to
eat the people.
Trying to eat all the tourists.
Kill the tourists. I would watch the shit out of that. That'd be
great.
They're trapped in like
we're trapped in Disney World.
At Disney World, like in the Caribbean.
Yo, that'd be a great. Imagine that as a horror movie.
Yeah,
like about maybe you get like a few. You just get like a few people who break into the park, like late at night. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna ride this ride. No one else is around, and then the pirates come to life, and they're like, then they're all. And I know because part of horror is isolation, right? But you can do isolation in a big zone though.
Oh yeah,
the park
is empty, right? So like it's super scary.
Yeah,
and everything's locked. And
everything's locked and everything's closed down. But there's no people around, and
there's just pirates chasing.
There's just pirates chasing them. You don't know
robotic pirate, like mechanical.
There's mechanical pirates chasing
them around.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do the pirates come alive? Is it an ancient pirate curse, like Goonies style, or like Curse of the Black Pearl, like that kind of like there's a legend tells there's an ancient and like one of the guys like steals gold from the ride or something. And
yeah. Dude, I was just imagining like a pirate, like a pirate robot. Then imagine
they're all based off real pirates.
Okay, so like
just
for a second,
the souls of like the old pirates. Like,
do they speak or do they? I don't think they should speak. I don't.
If you get like Jeffrey Rush and stuff, yes, they speak.
No. Okay, no, but I just imagine like a pirate, like you can't see. Like, his face is mostly dark, but he's got red eyes and he's got messed up teeth, and he's a robot. Like, how creepy that looks. Like, as a practical effect.
Because, like, the skeleton pirates in the first Pirates of the Caribbean are really good, but, like, but they're also robots.
Yeah, they're practical robots, so.
Oh, yeah. Oh, like Terminator style? Yeah.
No, but, like, creepy, like, almost like a cross with, like, FNAF. Like, kind of like
it's kind of that's very.
It's very FNAF, but it's better because FNAF is dumb.
No, FNAF is a good idea for a horror game.
Oh yeah,
it. Like you
can't do much with it.
You can't.
And I know this is kind of a joke concept, but this would be really.
I would watch the shit out of that if like someone. That's like I'm trying to come up with more like ideas for like indie movies that you can do on a low budget because like.
No, that's definitely higher budget.
Yeah, it's the special effects you need for the pirates and stuff. But, like, that's a fun-ass concept, you know? You just need, like, good characters.
It's, like, half guilty pleasure, half well-executed horror film.
It's a perfect B-movie horror, like a B-horror movie, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what I
But you can make it really good, though. Like, you can make, like, good horror, though. Like, you can make it not a horror if you try.
Yeah, but I mean, like a... Well,
I know it's
what I mean is, like, concept, like a Halloween or, like, a...
Oh yeah, no, Halloween's good.
Like a lower budget like horror movie. You know, like it could be a really cool one of those. Where there it is. There you go, studios. You're welcome. Make that movie and hire us.
You'll see one day. What's the movie gonna? man-eating pirates of the
Jurassic Pirates of the Caribbean Park.
Jurassic Pirates of the Caribbean Park.
I don't know.
Pirates of the Caribbean, but the pirates trying to eat the tourists.
Goldbluming.
Goldbluming. The Goldbluming.
The Goldbluming. That's what it's called.
The Goldbluming.
The Goldbluming. That's a double meaning. Because
it's like the
pirate gold and
no, but it's also the title sounds like The Shining.
Oh yeah, I guess.
That's where I was going for.
That makes sense. That makes more sense.
The Goldbluming.
I forget what I said.
What?
So any other thoughts on Wonder Woman? Or
Pirate Society.
Or do you have any other thoughts on pirates?
Wonder Woman. It's good. I like what Mr. Sunday said about it. It's like pretty good, not great.
Yeah.
I'd say I'd put that. It's the best. It's like oh yeah. It's like I describe it as like within the top half of Marvel, the four like Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, Captain America, the first Avenger, and the first Thor film. Within that range, it's within there. It's like about the top, which is kind of the top, about I'd say. So let's say there's there's 14 Marvel movies right now.
Right.
I put it like 7 or 8. That's what I mean by top half of Marvel.
Okay. Yeah.
Put it 7 or 8.
Yeah. Like just a little above the middle point.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I liked one thing that I thought was interesting that I wanted to mention is this movie does any media where stories is a theme I like. So this one did something interesting I thought with the structure where it was the whole movie's a flashback, right?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I remember. Looking at this picture, I remember the back in the day.
I remember when he gets the. I don't know if I said this to you in the theater. I probably did. I talk a lot. I'm sorry. But when she gets the letter or whatever from Bruce or whatever, I thought I thought this, or I said this to you. I thought he usually contacted her by email. And then at the end, I'm like, oh yeah, there you go. There it is.
Yeah.
Because he sends her the
original copy.
The original copy of
the picture.
Yeah.
Which another thing, good tying, having to fucking explain the picture and doing it in a way that just felt natural to the movie.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you guys all saved the city. Want to be a picture?
Want to take a picture? Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. It feels kind of like the first Terminator.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a little different though, because that's very much oh shit, it's a circle, time is whatever. That's where the picture came from. It's more of
everything's
so that's where that came from. But this was just oh yeah, right, of course, that makes perfect sense.
It's oh, that's where that came from.
No, I mean it's just it just felt natural in the way the story progressed.
Mm.
But yeah, so it started with her flashing back to as a kid, and then immediately that it's well, she's oh, so what's the history of the Amazons, Mom, or whatever? I forget how that started.
Mom,
and then her mom was well, Zeus created all the people, and then he created the Amazons, and Ares was bad, and so we had to fight him, and then so it does that flashback, and then it keeps going, and then 5 minutes later, Steve Trevor shows up, and he's oh, well, this is what happened to me 5 minutes ago, and then it flashes back to his backstory of, I was a spy, and blah, blah, blah. And, some of it I thought worked well, because, they kind of, with the note at the beginning where it's maybe one day you'll tell me your story. So I felt it kind of made it work a little bit, with the idea of, oh, this is one story, and, stories are told, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what I'm going. It's sort of a How I Met Your Mother type thing, where it's where the story's told out of order.
Yeah.
It's well, you see, kids, blah, 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 and then they'll start a scene, and then 5 minutes into the scene, 2 minutes into a scene of How I Met Your Mother, they'll immediately flash back to a day ago and stuff like that. It was kind of like that. But one part where I felt it didn't really work was at the end where Steve is like, oh, I gotta go fly the plane and stuff. And then and the first time you see the scene, you can't hear what he's saying because and you think it's because she's like so in shock with like the explosions and everything going on that she like physically can't hear what he's saying. Yeah. And then he goes off and flies the plane and dies. And then she's like fighting Ares, and then like it flashes back to 5 minutes ago. Yeah. Where she did hear what he was saying, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be good, and keep fighting the good battle," or whatever. Yeah. I don't even remember what he said.
I really like that though. I really like that scene.
I just thought it was weirdly structured.
No, it was, but I like it though. They do that. It's not the only time they do that in the movie though.
What was it? Was there another point where they flash back to literally 5 seconds ago?
Yeah.
Okay, when?
So Steve Trevor is like, "Oh, I'll tell you how I got here."
Yeah, that's what I said earlier.
You did? I'm sorry, I phased out.
Yeah, you were looking at your phone.
Yeah, no, it's because I was.
I had to carry this whole.
I'm arguing with adults about radical Islam on Facebook, and I'm just like, and the guy just commented like 3 paragraphs. I'm like, if you're an adult, you have a lot better things to do than argue with a 17-year-old about an uneducated 17-year-old about radical Islam on Facebook. So I don't even care anymore. Like it's not worth my time. Like you can't convince people. You can't change people. You can't change people's minds.
Not
but like
Facebook,
no, because like the guy's main point is like he's like Islam to its core is wrong. I'm like. Islam's a peaceful religion. Islamic terrorism is wrong. And then he's like, no, Islam to its core. I've been exposed to Islam for years. It's wrong. I'm like, I'm sorry that that happened. I'm sorry that happened to you, but like refugee kids in my school are pretty nice. And like I'm pretty sure like they're not bad. Like it's like, no, Islam has to be destroyed. I'm like, that's kind of ethnic cleansing. He's like, no, ethnic cleansing implies killing people. I'm talking about destroying an ideology. And I'm just like, okay, you can't reason with it. Yeah, so there's I'm done here. I've hit a brick wall. I'm done. I'm done trying to reason.
None of the major
ones. I'm trying to reason with adults who argue with teenagers on Facebook.
Clearly, there's nothing you could do to change that person.
No, so I'm just done. Like I don't even care anymore. It's not worth my time.
Oh man,
maybe he thinks he won, but like
there's so much ignorance.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. I gotta show you the John Oliver on Donald Trump after this. There's a new one about the Green Initiative.
Oh, cool.
It's so good. But anyways, something I wanted to talk about was Doctor Strange.
Yes, sorry, go ahead.
So something I noticed, this is my 3rd time watching Doctor Strange, and is there a How Doctor Strange Should Have Ended already out?
I feel like there is.
Yeah.
I forget what it was.
Yeah, I feel like there is. But I'm surprised that I hadn't thought about this before, that they didn't think about this. Which is that, so I'm watching the movie, and then afterwards it kind of hit me, like, really quickly. Like, oh, so, there's the scene where he's fighting Caecilius and the Zealots or whatever, and he throws the 2 guys in the desert, and then he's like, oh, I'm bleeding, and then he goes to the hospital, and then he's like, okay, I'm good, and then there's more scenes and stuff, and then it's like, oh, you're bad, Ancient One, you use the magic and stuff, you lied to us, and then he's with Mordo, and he's like, oh, we gotta fight the bad guys, and they're like, okay, and then they have the really cool city scene or whatever, and then, like, Caecilius stabs her, and then like, oh, we gotta take her to the hospital and stuff. And I was starting to think to myself, like, wait a minute, so you're a sorcerer. You can like, you can make whips. You can make your shield things. You can use magic to make time infinite. You can do all this cool stuff. You can make weapons. You can go into the mirror dimension where you can make buildings falling on top of themselves. You can run up walls. You can imbue objects with power and stuff. But when it comes to healing, you rely on modern medicine in hospitals.
Yeah, you have no healing.
You have no healing spells. I don't understand.
Which is wrong because we know that they do. Because the one guy who was paralyzed uses magic to heal so he can walk.
No,
right?
Did he use it, or is he? He just says that
he constantly uses it.
He just constantly. It's not. I don't know if it's constantly healing though, or if it's just like you know how they can create weapons and stuff. I don't know if he's just made something around his spine so that.
No, because it must be.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it must be just like a spell that makes him. Makes him able to walk, but like
I feel like it's more
like
a spine brace type thing. Like
maybe it's more like that kind of thing.
Yeah, like almost like Scarlet Witch's powers. Like I feel like you can do everything Scarlet Witch can do with the sorcerer.
Yeah, stuff. pretty much. I guess. Like it's kind of vague.
Yeah, it's kind of vague. It's all pretty vague.
It's tricky to do magic.
Oh yeah. And it's like, oh, you can transport between other dimensions, but you need this ring thing.
Right. Yeah.
You need a sling ring.
You gotta have if for any like kind of.
It can't
to ground like a crazy idea. You have to give something rules for it, to us to be able to understand it. And so like that's I think why there's only like 3 different spells that they do in Doctor Strange.
No,
Just
but
because they have to explain how each of those work, and
But
like
would
if
you
they
agree
did
with
that
that?
for like every.
But would you agree with me though? That's like a major like plot hole though, that they don't have any healing.
Yeah, I get like why.
Yeah. I think maybe it is like because
unless like they get stabbed by something like whatever they got stabbed by was like, oh, it's a. Yeah, they could have just done like a line. It's like,
it's a Morgul blade. It's it's nothing like that. No, it's just like it looks like.
Except it can't be because he just heals him. He gets
stitched up regularly. And he gets stabbed.
Fine,
he gets stabbed with the same weapon in a similar spot.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Maybe it was just like I get why the ancient one had to die because like she'd already.
Yeah, but like why in a hospital? Things. I don't understand. Was it to give Rachel McAdams something to
more
do?
Scenes? Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And was it to give Doctor? I understand if it's to give him a character arc because later in the movie, the one doctor or whatever who he basically showed all like embarrassed or whatever. He's like, oh, relieve pressure on the brain, and he hands him a scalpel.
Right. Yeah. So it's so he's trying to be a nicer guy.
Yeah. He's trying not, and he's not arrogant about it or anything. He's like, no, don't fuck this up. He's like, no, you can do your job. Like,
I trust you to do your job.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So
I guess it's part of its arc, but like. It just doesn't make sense within the context.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, it's like this. No, it's like this wound is. This is this.
They should have come.
Maybe it's like it's been stabbed by a magic thing or whatever. It's like magic can only heal so much. Like maybe it's this one's too deep. We can't use.
Yeah, because
it would require too much pressure. We can't do it. Like maybe if just one throwaway line like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I would be fine, but they don't have anything like that.
I mean,
it's just every time someone gets stabbed by something in this movie, they're like, modern medicine, go. Like,
I guess
get us to a hospital.
I think it does make sense at first. When you think about.
And why don't they have a hospital on site at the Comfort Touch?
They don't.
The magic training camp. Would they? But I feel like people would still get hurt though. Like, do they have a physician on site? Do they have?
Oh yeah.
What's up with that? I'm really concerned about the health and wellness of
their healthcare.
The healthcare system of these sorcerers. I know it's a little.
No, but here's my thing. Like, he didn't even know that they could heal with magic.
Yeah.
Because all the stuff that he had been learning was like learning to fight the bad guys.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And she doesn't even tell him. Oh yeah, that guy whose spine was fixed. Like he uses magic to do that. Yeah. Like until that's when she dies. Is when she tells him that.
He uses magic to walk. Yeah.
So like when he gets hurt, he
figures out
he doesn't know any of the spells to heal.
No, I believe
he stabs himself. And he gets stabbed, and so he's like, "Well, I know that if we stitch this up, I can get healed probably. So I'll go there."
Yeah. No, that makes sense within his character and within what is his level of knowledge.
Yeah,
it makes sense for him to do that.
And he's with
the ancient one though.
Yeah, but she's like fucking. Yeah. Pretty much done in her physical form by that point. Like she fell off a building or whatever.
I just think it's fun.
He's like, oh shit, well, bring her to the hospital, I guess, because I still don't know any magic healing spells.
No, but would Mordo know?
Yeah, that's the. I guess
he's with her. And he's an experience.
Well,
he's there,
doesn't he not care at that point? Isn't he like, oh, you betrayed us, you lied about blah blah blah?
No, but he wouldn't want her to die though.
I guess he still wouldn't want her to die. No. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
It's kind of weird.
Maybe.
It kind of took me out of it, like going.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they just kind of had like a line like, "Oh, is there a spell we can use to heal you?" And she's like, "No, they use this kind of magic weapon which negates all healing spells, or whatever."
Yeah. Such a Yu-Gi-Oh word.
I use my. Well, I brought my dinosaur that eats force field dogs.
Pretty much that. It's something kind of weird about Doctor Strange. The reason it feels really like rushed because all the scenes are short.
Yeah, because it's only under 2 hours long.
Yeah,
so
I feel like because there's one thing in it that like it just kind of like had me thinking like every scene feels like it's gonna like because like there's the scene where they're talking in the hospital, him and Rachel McAdams or whatever, and they're walking and talking in the hospital. That's some great dialogue because it's like back and forth and it's progressing the story, developing their characters. So I really like all that stuff, and that's really good dialogue, and it's perfect for what it needs to be. And all the hospital stuff with the game's great. But if you had like maybe 1 or 2 more scenes of him being a dick before he gets in the accident, that would have been good. But also it just feels like each scene like it's gonna like it's like building to like a cool like character moment or something, and then it just ends. Like this is the one scene where Mordo's like, oh, we learned to fight and stuff. This is how you fight. Look, I've got this magic object.
Right,
when you imbue it with power, magic can hold the objects can hold the magic. Or I'm not going to give you one right now though. So just make one. And then they have a fight or whatever. And then after it's like, oh, he says something along the lines of don't let your guard down or whatever because you're probably going to need to fight. And then the scene ends. Then the scene ends. They don't have like a. I thought they like because like it's kind of like I wish they had more of like a Ra's al Ghul thing in Batman Begins where they have like. They spar a bit more, and there's some back and forth. Like Doctor Strange gets him on the ropes, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm better than you," and then he kicks it out of his feet. He kicks footing for a killing blow. And then maybe Mortal like kicks out his feet, and then he's like, "Oh, you still got to learn this and stuff, right? You're arrogant. You thought you won, but you exposed yourself, right? Like, it felt like there could have been more dialogue and more action in that scene.
Yeah, because like what works about that scene in like that training part of that training montage in Batman Begins is like they have that after the sword fight on the frozen lake, he falls in the water and then they're on the fire and they have like this like actual character moment between each other and like Ra's al Ghul says part of his backstory, which may or may not be accurate.
My name is Willem Ducard. No, it's probably still my favorite. One of my favorite comic book movies is the first half of Batman Begins.
Yeah.
And the first Batman scene where he's Batman is also great.
Oh, yeah.
And the scene with all the Actually, all Batman Begins is really good, except for the end.
Just some of the end stuff is kind of weird.
The microwave emitter is probably the only weird thing about the movie. Now that I think about it, the whole movie is actually solid, beginning to end. More solid than the Dark Knight. Like I remember, so I was talking with Carter, and he was like, it'd be cool to rank every comic book movie, or like with Dark Knight at the top. I'm like, no. I'm just like it's like there's so many things in this movie that just like take me out of it, and I started
what would you put at the top? You'd probably put Winter Soldier.
I probably would, but like I'm really but unbiased though.
Unbiased,
like objectively, what's the best comic book movie?
Well, I mean, I think that The Dark Knight is objectively better than a lot of comic book movies.
It is. Just but it has, like, it's not perfect though. Like it's
and that's where. Like, that's my only problem is with The Dark Knight is that it's not perfect, and some people think it is for some reason.
Yeah, no. Like, there's... Oh, because I was like, there's a scene in the movie where a cop says, I didn't sign up for this. Is that a bazooka? I didn't sign up for this. And then there's a scene in the movie where Harvey Dent punches a guy in the face, says 28 caliber, carbon fiber, made in China. If you want to kill a public servant, Mr. Maroney, I recommend you buy American. And there's a scene where, and like, I just kind of like, I had like a mini rant where I just kept like listing all these like really stupid things in the movie, where it's like, if this is supposedly the best movie ever, why are these scenes here? Like, I don't understand.
Two-Face's coin at the end only works perfectly for his goals, because he like points it at himself, doesn't shoot himself, points it at Batman, he gets to shoot Batman. Like, and all that.
Batman's not bulletproof. That's pretty dumb. He just gets shot and he's like, and like that's the whole thing. It's like, how underwhelming is that? That his big showdown is just getting shot and then pushing a guy off a building.
I killed those people. Well, you definitely killed Two-Face.
That's for sure. You didn't have to.
I have one rule.
You could have put him in a headlock. You could have hit him with a knockout batarang.
I don't have to.
Knocked him out with a batarang.
I don't have to.
Punched him in the throat and watched him choke.
I won't kill you, Two-Face, but I don't have to save you from falling off this building.
No, Commissioner Gordon actually kills Ra's al Ghul. It's something interesting about the end
fight. On like, hey, Gordon, you should borrow my bat tank and blow up the. Yeah, blow up the thing.
Okay, one thing about Batman Begins is that Batman didn't have to go on the train and fight Ra's al Ghul because Gordon was just going to blow up the thing anyways, right? He didn't have to keep him busy. Ra's al Ghul was going to get off the train, right? Like,
yeah, I was just like, no, but he's there to turn off the microwave emitter, and I'm like, nope, that's just in how it should have ended. He doesn't actually do that. He's just there to fight Ra's al Ghul.
He's literally there to fight.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty dumb. You didn't even. Well, you gotta have your fight with the villain at the top of the rooftop at the end of your.
Well, it's not a rooftop; it's a train.
Yeah, but it's above the building, so it's still high up. So
the Dark Knight's kind of like it's got a really cool like structure to it, narrative wise. I just wish Two-Face part was like what's better.
It's so fast. like in like there's so much that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Some parts I think it doesn't work as well
Yeah.
as others. But like there's a lot of great, like genuine great sequences.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole boat scene.
Oh, that's great.
He's genuinely great, and you can do a whole movie with just that concept.
Yeah.
But like, and like, there's like 2 or 3 other Joker things that he does where it's like, we're gonna who you gonna say, Batman, Rachel?
No, I feel like it's the middle portion of The Dark Knight, like about like hour, like the it's about like the 30-minute mark to like the hour 50 mark, because that's the part where that's when it becomes Two-Face. It's like the hour 50 mark. Pretty much from there to there is like. Wait, is it? How long is it? The Dark Knight's 2.5 hours,
Yeah,
right?
probably about 2.5 hours.
Yeah. So no, but from there to there, it feels like no one's safe, and like it's just anarchy. Like anyone could die. Like.
Yeah, true.
And the Joker almost seems invisible. Like it's like this guy drinks the thing, he's dead. The Joker doesn't up front kill many people. It's all tricks. It's all
right. Yeah, it's all
cars blowing up, people drinking poison, people showing up dead. Like
he doesn't just go around shooting people.
And I think there's something there that I think to myself, I'm like, what if that was a thing in a movie? And I'm like, oh yeah, it is. It's called The Dark Knight. So
yeah, it's force of nature.
Yeah, it's interesting.
He's an idea.
Yeah, he's an idea, right? But like, also his plan makes no sense by the end. Like, he planned to kill Commissioner Gordon and for Commissioner Gordon to fake his death. So that when Commissioner Gordon came back from the dead, he could put him into a prison cell, and from that prison cell, he could call a phone that was in the prison cell, so that he could break out of that prison cell. But he wouldn't have to do that if he never got captured in the first place. But also in
how far back does this plan even go, too? Because, like, originally it's like, I'm going to kill the mayor, and then that's when Gordon
he's going to say he's going to kill the mayor so that Gordon will fake his death.
And then it's like, oh, I'm going to kill the Batman so that Harvey will be like, I'm the Batman, you should capture me. So that later the real Batman can come. Because at first he's going after Harvey, and then once, was he go after Harvey because he thought he was the Batman, or because he thought the real Batman would show up?
A lot of it feels really half-assed, and just very plot convenient.
Yeah, yeah. Like the Joker's 2 steps ahead of everyone because he read the script of the
movie. That's so true. Yeah, it's a little unfair. Yeah, it seems weird. And there's the one thing that I know, Katie, long-time listener, love you, thanks for listening. No, because she was saying, I was talking to her about Man of Steel, she's like, oh, it's dumb that Superman kills Zod, and I'm like, why? Zod's gonna kill people, what else could he do? It's like, oh yeah, but he's fine with, like, knocking over a bunch of buildings. I'm like, so and I use that same logic. That's the problem with the Two-Face thing. Because it's like, why doesn't he just kill the Joker? Because he doesn't kill. It's like, oh, well, he kills Two-Face because he's about to kill some people. And the Joker wasn't. Oh my gosh! And with this version of the Joker, it's not like if you kill him, he wins. It's like if you kill him, the city is safe. It's like he won because he corrupted. No, you saved so many people, Batman. You have no idea how many people you saved. You have no idea how many people you have saved by murdering the Joker. I'm sorry, but it's not like the Superman. It's not like the Injustice Superman killing the Joker, where he's won because he killed Lois.
Well, I think it's weird.
It's nothing like that. It's like if Batman killed the Joker in, like, the scene when he's like, come on, I want you to. What would the rest of the movie look like?
Well, see, here's the thing. They want him, at that point...
Wait, did Joker plan for Harvey to have gasoline on his face so that he would be burned off? And then, like, what if Batman didn't come in time? What would he have done? What if the cops actually managed to save Rachel? What if...
There's only one scenario, like, of the many different ways that situation could have played out. There's only one where the Joker gets what he wants, and it just happened to be the one by like.
And then he plans to disguise himself as a nurse shittily, so that when he says he's gonna blow up a hospital, a bunch of people leave except for him. But because everyone's gone, he doesn't actually have to be disguised.
Well, he kills one guy, and also you get him dressed as a nurse, which is actually pretty good. I kind of like
when he gives.
Like, that's something the Joker would do.
He gives Harvey a loaded revolver, but, like, no bullets, no additional bullets. So he just has, like, a gun with some bullets in it. Like, it's not even, like, that's a terrible plan. It's like, what's he gonna do with it? Like, kill a maximum of 6 people? Like, whoa, you really corrupted him.
Which he pretty much does. Okay, so I think you can vouch for Batman not killing the Joker in the first interrogation scene, because, like, he knows where Harvey Dent and Rachel are, because, and so they need him alive so that they can find out that information. But then the second time at the end of the movie, he should kill Joker because he doesn't have any more plan. Because, okay, no.
Batman's kind of like a blubbering idiot in this movie.
He's
like, oh, I know I got these cars. No, but I know you got these. And then he shoots them in the face with a bunch of knives. No. It's like, how maniac are you?
So, okay, so the Joker's plan ends after, like, Two-Face becomes Two-Face and starts, like, killing people. And, like, that's his final card in his master plan.
It's a pretty crappy card. And you can just push him off a building.
And it's like, why is that the end of his plan? Because it's the end of the movie.
No, but it's supposed to be it's supposed to show the whole movie is supposed to be Harvey turning evil and stuff. But the thing is that it's not. It's very sudden. Like, there's one scene where, because Harvey's mostly a good guy, he's like, oh, I am the Batman. And he's like taking the fall for all this stuff because he's a really good guy. He's the White Knight, right?
Yeah, but it's not
Hans Booby. I'm your White Knight. No, but basically, so basically he's like nice and stuff the whole movie. Then there's the one scene where he's like, oh, if I flip this, you die. And then Batman's like, oh, you're wasting your time with this guy. He's a schizophrenic. He's not going to tell you anything. I'll leave you alone now. and then that's it. That's the only kind of bad thing Harvey does. He's threatened to kill a guy because the Joker is bad.
Right. Yeah, but like, okay, so the Joker's plan, I guess his overall plan. And then he's
like, oh, my girlfriend died. I'm gonna be bad
now. Like, I guess his overall plan.
Because it's what she would have wanted. She would have wanted me to go around the city murdering people.
That's the same chance Rachel got 50-50.
But how about 0 if you just put the gun down? Like, that makes sense. Why didn't Batman just talk him down? Like,
the Joker just manipulated you and everyone. Like, there's nothing we could have done to save Rachel because the Joker manipulated the whole thing. And so the Joker's whole plan is to prove that anyone could, even Gotham's White Knight, could be as crazy as he is. I guess that's his ultimate plan, right?
Yeah.
So it works for a second, then Two-Face dies and Batman takes the fall for it. Yeah. So shouldn't Joker be back 5 minutes later being like, oh, well, that plan didn't work, on to the next plan. Who else am I going to corrupt? Who else am I going to... Yeah, but I'm saying, like, why is the end of the movie The Dark Knight the end of Joker's plan? Like, only because the movie is over now, and...
That's true.
Because, like, they thought they caught him, and it's like, no, this was only part... Like, this wasn't even the beginning of my plan. I have way more steps. Oh, what happened to Harvey and Rachel? I captured them, and, like, oh, there's way more... I got so much more plans.
I have so many guys with cell phone bombs sewed into their stomachs at my disposal.
I'm gonna make Batman beat me up so I can use the glass from the window to
threaten a guy to make my phone call and blow up a prison cell.
I gotta say that I'm gonna blow up all the. What's he trying to blow up so that everyone goes on the boats? I can't, like, he says, I'm going to blow up the bridges or something like that. Yeah. I forget what it is. But, like, he has some other, why is the Harvey Dent turning evil the linchpin in his grand plan when he has, like, so many, schemes and, like, he playing everything to the T. So, like, it's only, like, the only reason that's the final thing for his plan was because... Oh, the movie's almost over now, so we should probably wrap it up.
Come on, Joker, wrap up your plan.
Wrap things up here. Oh man. Anyways, what would you give Wonder Woman? What rating would you give it?
One Captain America shield out of a Wonder Woman shield, or the other way around, I guess.
that adds up to me.
Yeah,
I give it a.
Not really.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know that your rating was a real rating.
No, that's fine. Ratings are complete bogus on this show.
This is a show, right? Where we have fans. I do own electronic devices that blow air around and keep things cool. If that's what you're talking about.